Okay, it's January in Minneapolis and the people have spoken and they still want neighborhood tours. So I'm going to show you what it's really like in Minneapolis in the winter, and I'm going to head out to St. Louis Park and show you some of the great things you can do out there when it's snowing. And I'll be honest, it's 30 degrees and it feels like spring to me. So today was a great day to do it. Hi everyone, my name is Mary Schumann. I'm a realtor in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and every week I do videos about all things real estate and life in the Twin Cities. And for some reason I thought I could hide the fact that it snows in Minneapolis from all of you people out there. But apparently it's well known, and I decided to go ahead and tour St. Louis Park yesterday and just show you some of the things that you can do in Minneapolis or St. Louis Park in the winter. If this is your first time here, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and click the little bell right next to it so you're notified every time I post a new video. I have freebies in my description that you can download at any time. There are things related to what the buying process looks like, a relocation guide to Minneapolis, how to get your house ready to sell, so lots of stuff. Feel free to download that at any time. So this is a map of where St. Louis Park resides in relationship to Minneapolis, and I have also highlighted on here all of the other videos that I've done. So if you check my neighborhoods and videos playlist, you can check out videos on those other locations. And this map is really just showing St. Louis Park itself and some of the attractions that I'm going to talk about in this tour. If you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you housing prices as averages and days on market and that kind of thing so that you know what the housing market looks like in St. Louis Park. But for now, I just want to show you some graphics that show the convenience factor of various things that you might be interested in living close to. Movie theaters, gas stations, coffee shops, gyms, that type of thing. And then kind of a score on how many restaurants are available in St. Louis Park. I love eating out, so this would be a good score for me. I'm going to take you to see Lucky Cricket later in this video, and it's just one of the many restaurants available in St. Louis Park. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I'm kind of a park junkie, and this is a score of some of the outdoorsy things, although this doesn't even scrape the surface of what's available. Theodore Wirth Park is one of the largest parks in the Minneapolis area, maybe the largest, and it's got so much available, and I'm going to show you that next. I am far from alone in my love of the outdoors. Minnesotans absolutely adore being outdoors, and one of the largest parks is adjacent to St. Louis Park. It is Theodore Wirth Park. They have 12 sledding hills. There is a snow tubing hill. You can bike ride. You can cross-country ski on many miles of groomed trails. It's just a wonderful place to be outside. Then I headed over to the rec center, which is St. Louis Park's outdoor pool. You won't see me laying by the pool, but you can take your kid to the playground right there, bring a warm cup of coffee. There is a little warming house next door, and kids here still play outside all winter long. When the snow's really flying and you don't want to take your kids outside to play, or you don't want to be out there with them, you can head to the roller garden. It's a roller skating rink with beautiful wood floors and great music. It's pretty old school, but it is a lot of fun. And I also wanted to point out that St. Louis Park really hooks up to a lot of bike trails that head into downtown Minneapolis and to the western suburbs. They also have the Westwood Hills Nature Center, and this place reminded me a lot of the Wood Lake Nature Center in Richfield, which I featured on my Richfield video. You can check that out. And no park in Minnesota would be complete without a, DIY type ice skating rink. They flood the fields and kids just go nuts. So the same rec center that has that outdoor pool that's not open right now, I thought it had a gym in it, and when I stopped in to see how much it cost, they said, no, just hockey. So they have 3 full-size hockey rinks, and wait till you see this next one that is outdoor. Isn't it gorgeous? Check out the ceiling in there. So these are public rinks. Anybody can come and pay to play. When you're craving that $1.50 Costco hot dog, St. Louis Park has you covered there too. This is not my favorite Costco of the 8 in the Minneapolis area, but I did want there to be a Costco when I moved here. So St. Louis Park has one. You'll want to kill people if you go there, but just so you know, it's available. And then I headed over to the West End to check out the shopping and food, and I went into Lucky Cricket, which is Andrew Zimmern's restaurant. And if you're into food TV at all, you may know of him from Food Network, but he opened this Chinese restaurant in the West End, and it was pretty good. If you were looking for data, here it is. This is the average price over 3 years, and you can see that St. Louis Park stayed pretty close to the Twin Cities average. And this is days on market, and you can see that days on market is low, and it's even lower for St. Louis Park than it is for the Twin Cities as a whole. And average price per square foot in St. Louis Park is about $52 per square foot higher than the Twin Cities average. It's a desirable neighborhood for people that want to live close to the city. And then I just wanted to give you a view of what the housing stock looks like. There is a wide variety of condos, rental apartments, single-family homes, and the homes themselves are pretty typical of what you would see in South or Western Minneapolis, the 1950s capes. And then you will often see what I like to call the Brady Bunch house, also known as a rambler, ranch, or split level. Tons of them here. Okay, now go home, sit in front of the fire, have something warm to drink, and relax. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this tour, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can get me at my contact information in the description below, or drop a comment and I'll be sure to respond to you. Thanks so much.